Alright, we're back with more Factorio. Here we go. I am Pax, and we are continuing the playthrough of space exploration. And we're basically where we left off last time, just finishing up with the space trains. There was one thing I meant to do, which was there's supposed to be some logic here. So one thing is that basically if there's enough in the provider, we're gonna pause the system is the idea. So if the space train power plant is charged is less than, let's say, I think 120 sounds like something good, then this will be disabled. And so this way, once this stacks up a bit, this will backlog and the whole system will pause. That's one thing. The other thing is we need to deal with the barrels. And so what I wanted to do is maybe come over here and actually use some buffer chests and set this up. So we're going to allow some barrels to be around. So we'll say as long as there's less than, let's see, if there's more than 40 barrels, we'll enable this inserter to recycle the barrels. And we will have you actually request 40, this buffer chest. That way we'll pull them off if there's extra, and then, but then we might want to, of course, request empty barrels in places. So we do want to have some buffer of them. So that's the idea. So then we have these two problems solved, so that's good. And the train, I think, is just gonna be chilling, doing fine. Everything's looking good. I think I wanted to make, oops. Let's see, the energy catalog. I wanted this to just be a 2, request 2, settable 1, but it's working pretty well, Let's see, I think everything's pretty happy, pretty solid, hopefully. Looks like energy catalog is working no problem, and science is working. Just getting some energy catalog, about to run out, but we should be sitting pretty for a while with the science and everything. Now this is looking pretty good. So what we want to do is now, I think the plan will be to go get barrel, and so then we want to go to the asteroid belt to mine barrel, and we've been out here to pick up the space station, so I did leave a landing pad and things are ready, and we have even a rocket sort of set up for the asteroid belt. So actually let's create a new channel. We'll call this asteroid belt. And then this rocket will kind of be set up, but the thing is about the asteroid belt, we need to go to space and we need the space logistics. And so then we want to actually bring back down from space a lot more stuff. So we really want to set this rocket up properly here. And, you know, normally it's just recycling everything, but I think, well, there's this, right, so let's put this here. There's certain things I want to always just recycle, regardless of how much there is. So one of those things is like, use life support canisters and the cargo rocket parts. And so hopefully this will be fairly sufficient at getting those things, but then I want to do some logistics. And the idea is that, yes, this rocket silo that we built a long time ago, of course, will be responsible for those logistics. So we want to do another, but we need to do another communications system. So I'm going to pull this here and use set some requests over here for what we want to bring back down from the space station. And then we're going to use the logistic spots and requester chests to do it. I'm going to squeeze it in back here. I'm going to leave these guys for now. And then I'm going to take a normal requester chest. Let me try using loaders, actually. So let's try using loaders because we'll just use this to manage the requests. Then what we want to do is then get a signal receiver. It's going to squeeze it in here. Not much room, but I think this is okay. Okay, yeah, let's squeeze it in here. That's fine. And this will be another channel. So we'll call this orbit return. Oh my gosh, here we go, there we go, orbit return. And what we'll do is then go back. So hopefully you have it, yes. Okay, so we want to measure everything. So let's see, we want to keep, again, separate from the LTN, so we will measure here the chest and the cargo rocket landing pad. Send this back to orbit return, and let's then put it up here as well, just so it can look. Yep. And what we'll do is put in negative numbers here for the requests. So like, yes, we'll request like a bunch of supplies, negative numbers. So let's start with, say, stuff like this, just lots of stuff, I guess. All the kind of logistics things that we'll want from space, because yes, if we want to supply another space station, then we want to be able to give it this stuff. And some of this even, sure. So we'll start with this. We'll just start with this. Get like some pipes. And what else do we want? Let's get the, whoops, space rails? Yeah, probably. And should we bother with the trains? Now we can just build the trains locally, I think, if we want to. Then what else is, oh, space scaffolding for sure. For sure we want this. And even more maybe, like a lot. Let's do a lot, yeah. Then the question is, do we want, what else do we want? Anything else? These, I guess, technically, but we won't do those yet. Just gonna cram as many as possible in there, I guess. And we could also ask for some of the buildings. Let's do some of the buildings. I guess that's, seems like a lot, but let's see, then we might want this one, I guess. I have no idea how high these stack, that's another issue. Then maybe the only other one that's probably relevant is this one, I guess. Yeah. Just those are kind of the ones that might be useful for smelting and chemical processing. I think that's probably it. We could do other train stuff, but I think if we do the train stuff, we can just rebuild all the space trains down here. Then that should be good, right? Let's say that this is the request, and we'll just add more to it as we need. And then, so we should see, I think I put it on the red wire, right? Yes. So here are all the negative numbers that are requesting, and positive numbers are supplies. And what we want to do is actually, let's see, we want to subtract them, or just add them together actually. So let's put this on the green wire and put them together here. But we want them to flip, right? I want them to flip this thing. So we want the negative request to become positive. So we go to do a -1 each times -1 set each. So now the negative requests are positive. Yes, that's the idea. And we want to do one more thing. Again, we want this flag because I don't want this to work when the rocket isn't ready. So we're going to set it up where, just because it's a little complicated, I'm going to just do it like this. So the rocket ready is now at -1, so I'm going to say make sure that cargo rocket is actually, let's say, less than or equal to -1, just to make sure it works, and then output everything if this is true. Okay, so you are outputting everything. And then the point is we can, oops. The point is that we can then connect this and now just say set requests. There we go. And now all of the requests from the ground are going to get set. And as they, of course, get put onto the cargo rocket, they get subtracted. And then the request goes away. And so this should allow us to just use the logistics system to request all the things we might want from the space station and then put them on this rocket so that we can send back down supplies to the main hub and reroute them to other planets and whatnot, like the asteroid belt. So this way we'll be able to send back a bunch of supplies, send them to the rocket for the asteroid belt here, this one, Calidus asteroid belt landing pad, and then we'll reconfigure this rocket to then bring the space logistics stuff once we send this one back down. So that is the idea. So then, okay, we are flowing. The logistics spots are pretty fast when you have a couple hundred of them, I guess. This looks like it's going. This is loading, yes. Cool, so we got some manufactories, yeah, I got some facilities. I guess the stack size doesn't even matter. This goes, yeah, it doesn't matter about the stack size, so that's kind of nice. Then that should be pretty nice. It should get the base going a bit. Gotta rebuild these buildings. Gotta build a lot of space scaffolding here. It took a lot of it, I guess, but hopefully we build more of it. Should be able to continue the production pretty steadily. Cool, but then I think we'll have to wait a bit longer before we're ready to really send this rocket back down, so it's no big deal. But then let's just check in on our space train. We're just pumping out the energy catalog. Pretty nice, pretty effective. The power is looking good, the charging is looking good, working well. Still got plenty of storage space for making more batteries and such, but we'll slowly make them as needed. We got plenty of battery packs now, just no worries. Nice, but yes, I'm loving this rail system. I'm loving our sushi belts. We're now set up, starting to use the logistic spots to do some more work for us, and we have this now rocket set up for returning cargo to Novice and giving us now stuff from space and putting it into our logistics systems, putting it onto the train network, of course. And this will allow us to set up the asteroid belt rocket. And so we have orbit return more or less up and running. Cool. So I think this will be then where we call the session the orbital hub and the space station, or the space station is now really going to the next level, getting to the next level. And so we're going to push to get the next catalog. So we need to do we're going to go to the asteroid belt and mine the beryllium and set the beryllium processing chain up. And this will then let us go do astronomic science. And so the 4 sciences I'm hoping to set up in these 4 regions and just bring them all together and have, I think the plan will just have this one train service it all. So we'll see how that goes. But so then, yeah, we're going to try to do get the beryllium, set the beryllium mining up, go for astronomic catalog over here. So that will be the short-term, medium-term plan. But we've got a long way to go still. And yeah, but then space station, it's really doing great things. So very excited about our space trains and continuing with the game. So awesome. Yeah, so but we'll call it here for this session. There you go. Factorio. I am Pax. And I'll see you in the next video.